The coffee plants at the Alameda Gardens have been here for about 4 years. Coffee plants aren't usually very successful in Europe because they prefer tropical climes, but this crop has been doing very well this year. The curators of the gardens harvested a decent crop of berries from the plants and after a few days of research and toil, successfully came up with the end product.
We've had the odd coffee plant in the gardens probably since the early 2000s or so. We brought in a number of plants in 2016 actually, during our bicentenary year. And we noticed that it grows quite well here, but because it's a tropical plant, we were never quite sure whether it was going to produce enough fruit of good enough quality to produce coffee that's drinkable. Coffee plants take about 3 or 4 years to produce viable coffee anyway, and so it wasn't until this year that we realized that the plants had actually produced a really good crop of coffee beans, or rather coffee berries. And we decided that it would be great fun to explore whether or not we could make our own, as we see it, first Gibraltar coffee.
It takes a lot of time, space and labour to produce meaningful amounts of coffee, so it's unlikely this will ever become a commercial venture. But this achievement is certainly an interesting anecdote in the history of the gardens. So these are the perks of the job. This is possibly, as far as we know, the only coffee ever grown on Gibraltarian soil, and there's only a limited amount, and I am one of the privileged few who gets to try a sip. And that's quite decent.